Have you ever noticed how the texture of your thoughts changes over the decades? How memories can feel both near and far, or how sometimes you can recall the lyrics to an old favorite song from your 20s? But you walk into the kitchen and forget why. If you're like many people in this stage of life, you might find yourself reflecting on the remarkable capacity of the human mind, its strengths, its quirks, and perhaps the ways we want to keep it as lively as ever. After all, with all we've lived through and learned, it makes sense to want our thoughts and memories to be every bit as vibrant as the lives we've led. Let's explore together the many ways you can boost your brain health, not just to remember names or find your keys, but to stay curious, connected, and engaged with the world around you. Because maintaining that mental spark doesn't only help with remembering facts, it shapes relationships, brings joy to daily conversations, and fuels meaning and purpose in this rich chapter of life. And it's never too late to try something new or rediscover what once brought you delight. First, let's talk about curiosity, a trait many of us had in abundance as children, and one that's well worth nurturing now. Research continues to show that learning new things is like exercise for the brain. It doesn't have to be formal education or fancy technology. Whether you're picking up a few words in Italian before an upcoming trip, mastering a new card game, or learning to play a song on the piano, what matters is the challenge itself. Each time you push your mind in an unfamiliar direction, your brain's connections become stronger and new pathways form. The practical step here: choose something that genuinely interests you. Maybe it's watercolor painting, chess, or a new recipe collection. Schedule 10 or 15 minutes a few times a week to devote to exploring it, and take pride in every bit of progress, large or small. Now let's touch on the power of staying social, which is a pillar of mental sharpness. Interacting with others isn't just emotionally rewarding, it literally changes your brain. Conversation, debate, storytelling, all these activities stretch memory, language, and reasoning skills. And as you likely know from experience, laughter and companionship lift spirits as well. Here's what you might try. Reach out to an old friend you haven't seen for a while and suggest a coffee, or join a local club or discussion group centered on a shared interest. Many libraries and community centers offer book circles, crafting groups, and lecture series that welcome all ages. Even one meaningful conversation a week has been shown to make a difference. If you get value from what we have presented, please like and subscribe to help us grow our channel, Ageless Intuition. Let's turn to physical movement, which may surprise you as a way to sharpen your mind. You may recall how good it felt to walk after dinner when you were raising your family, or to dance the night away at a wedding. What's clear now more than ever is that the brain and body are deeply linked. Physical activities encourage blood flow, decrease stress, and prompt the release of chemicals that protect memory and cognitive function. You don't need to be running marathons. A gentle daily walk, some light stretching, or even gardening can suffice. If possible, combine movement with something you enjoy, a stroll through your local park, tending the flowers, even simple chair exercises with favorite music. Here's something many people overlook: the value of rest and sleep. Decades ago, being busy from sunrise to sundown was practically a badge of honor. But the science is undeniable. Sleep is when the brain files away memories, clears out toxins, and prepares for new learning. Reflect for a moment. Do you regard sleep as a treat or as an afterthought? Try giving yourself permission for a regular, calming nighttime routine. That might mean putting on soft music in the evening, reading a novel, or setting a gentle alarm for bedtime. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Another key to staying sharp is feeding your brain well. The Mediterranean diet, think fruits, vegetables, whole grains, olive oil, fish continues to earn high marks for supporting long-term brain health. But this isn't about following strict rules or complicated recipes, especially if cooking for yourself is newer territory. You might start by adding a few more colored vegetables to your meals, or swapping out a snack for a handful of nuts or berries. Food has always been social, so maybe invite a neighbor to a simple lunch, sharing conversation alongside wholesome foods. Let's compare two approaches here. Imagine someone who eats the same routine foods each week: toast, cold cuts, canned soup, mostly for quickness. Now picture another person who tries a new vegetable each month, maybe asparagus in April or peaches in July, or experiments with one Mediterranean-style recipe from a cookbook. The second approach is more playful and joyful and nudges your brain with novelty, which matters just as much as physical nourishment. Let's shift focus slightly to creativity. Whether you were once an artist, amateur photographer, or simply someone who loved to doodle or sing, creative pursuits light up brain areas connected to problem-solving, memory, and mood. Even if your drawing is more stick figures than masterpieces, engaging in creative work kindles fresh thinking and pride. The trick is starting with zero pressure. Pick up an old hobby or try something unfamiliar. Maybe creative writing, or assembling family photo albums, or piecing together a puzzle. Your only obligation: enjoy the process. Reflection is another powerful tool you've likely honed over a lifetime. Journaling, recording your family stories, or reflecting quietly at the end of the day doesn't just refresh your memory. It clarifies your values and legacy. Many people find that writing down anecdotes or creating short audio recordings for grandchildren keeps the mind active. Even jotting a few sentences after breakfast, perhaps noting dreams or small joys from the previous day, exercises memory in a meaningful way. Here's another often overlooked area: technology, when embraced on your own terms, can fuel mental fitness. It's easy to feel intimidated by the pace of change in gadgets and apps. But you might be surprised at the mental boost from learning to use a new device, exploring online learning resources, or even video chatting with family afar. Local libraries and senior centers often offer gentle step-by-step workshops. If you're already comfortable, explore a new podcast or take an online tour of a museum. The main point: don't be afraid to ask for help or go slowly. Each new click is a tiny workout for your brain. Let's pause a moment. Have any of these ideas sparked a memory? Maybe you've rediscovered an old passion or remembered a strategy that's worked for you in the past. If so, I invite you to share your story in the comments and be part of our community of lifelong learners. Every comment is a chance to inspire others who might be walking a similar path. Returning to our journey, let's talk about the importance of purpose and meaning. It's easy to underestimate how much purpose keeps our minds alert. The sense of having something to look forward to or to contribute creates a ripple effect on motivation and cognition. Maybe it's mentoring a young person, volunteering, or simply tending to a beloved pet or garden. The action step here doesn't require huge commitments. Even reading a grandchild's school essay or teaching someone a favorite skill brings both parties a mental lift. Reading is another tried and true practice for mental sharpness. In our youth, we might have read for school or work. Now reading can be a joy in itself. Mysteries, memoirs, poetry, each genre nudges different mental muscles. Try mixing up your reading list, or join a book group to add conversation into the mix. If print books are a struggle for your eyes, many libraries offer large print and audio books. Let me offer you the example of two people. One who rereads the same familiar novel every year for comfort, and another who occasionally ventures into new genres, historical fiction, science, even graphic novels. Both approaches have value, but dabbling in new types of stories asks your brain to adapt, recall, and connect new dots. Consider a gentle nudge beyond your reading comfort zone as a gift to your mind. Let's not forget the mind-body connection through meditation or mindfulness. Perhaps in the busyness of life earlier on, these practices felt too abstract, but as research and everyday experience both show, even 5 minutes a day can lower stress, sharpen focus, and create space for gratitude. You can start simply, sit quietly, notice your breathing, and let thoughts come and go. There's no test to pass, just curiosity about your own mind. And last, gratitude for life's fullness, a practice that science supports, but that your years of wisdom illuminate in unique ways. Regularly noticing the good, whether that's the warmth of sun through the window or a kind word from a neighbor, as a way of easing worry and making room for optimism. Perhaps keep a small notebook by your bed and write down 3 bright spots before sleep. Over time, you may notice your outlook gently shifts and your mind feels lighter. If you get value from what we have presented, please like and subscribe to help us grow our channel, Ageless Intuition. In the end, your decades of living have gifted you with skills, resilience, stories, and perspective that no quick tip can replace. Consider these brain-boosting activities not as chores but as invitations, ways to honor both your history and your potential for growth. Staying mentally sharp isn't about chasing youth. It's about inhabiting this chapter with clarity, curiosity, and connection, and giving yourself permission to try, to play, and yes, to rest. What about you? Which activities have you found most rewarding for keeping your mind lively? Is there something you've always wanted to try, or a story you'd like to share about your own mental fitness journey? We invite you to join our community in the comments. Every piece of wisdom is a gift to others here. Thanks for watching. Tap that like button and subscribe if this brought you joy today. We're growing thanks to wonderful folks like you. Wishing you a peaceful day wrapped in warmth and love.